Hello, everyone. Good
We
evening, good
made it.
night, good morning. Exactly, we made it. We are live. We are live in the group. Let me ensure you all are getting to see us. Yes, we are live. Yeah. Woo!
Yes, we finally look after 23 minutes. We got it, you guys. We got it. This has been like wow.
We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but that's quite
Yes,
okay.
yes.
All right.
Like some serious technical difficulties.
So we have with us tonight, we have Miss Shelly Mache, and she is one of our group members, but she's also a certified life purpose coach and a self-awareness expert. And this evening, we will be speaking about how understanding purpose can lead to genuine joy and a happier life. Now, I
Yes.
need that. Okay, I need that, please. There's so many movements, so many things are happening, so I certainly need that. So, Shelly, tell us a bit about you.
Yes. First of all, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. I never take it lightly when I have an opportunity to come and to speak and to really have a chance to interact with others. As you stated, I am a certified life purpose coach. And so people always ask me, well, what's the difference between a life purpose coach and and just a life coach? And what I
Yeah,
let them know is, a life purpose coach is a life coach with a little bit of splash. You just kind of
yeah,
throw a little splash on there. Because being a life coach, we do help you. We help you find that journey. We help you do that. But being a life purpose coach, what I do is, again, I take you back to grab some of those things when you were younger, some things that you may not have put together. And I take those things and we look at some of the things that you may have been purposed to do versus the things that you are just doing to survive. There's a difference between living and existing. And many of us get caught up in existing because we need to care for our families, or something happened in life and we needed just to do things for the right now. And what we ended up forgetting about are those little things that made us feel special, those little things that made us feel alive, those little things that made us feel like we could conquer the world. That's where
mhm,
where I come in as a life purpose coach, to connect you back to those things that gave you genuine joy, that gave you peace, things that you
right,
couldn't get from the outside, so that we can
right,
better build and help you continue on your journey. And so when we understand those things, some of those small things, some of those little things, then we
mhm,
can better enjoy who we are, who we've been destined to be, and
right.
our journey in life, even the bumps. It's better
Wow.
when I know that I'm going someplace specific. So
Yes.
that is what I do as a certified purpose coach. And I'm also a self awareness expert because, again, in order for you to understand where you're going, you have to understand who you are.
Yes.
And I know that because I've been there. I walked that journey. I did that trying to figure out who I was beyond my titles. A lot of us get caught up in titles:
Yes.
title of mom, title of friend, title of daughter,
Yes.
whatever those titles are, and
Yes.
whatever those titles mean to you. A lot of times we get stuck there. So we
Yes.
have to find out who we are
Yes.
before we can find out who we've been created to be. So
Yes.
that's yes,
I
that's
love
what
when
I
you talk
love.
about titles because, as you rightly say, we get caught up in titles and it's really
Yes.
understanding who we are.
Hmm. Exactly. They're
Yeah.
portions. It's portions of us. Our titles are like icing on a cake. It
Yeah.
makes things pretty. It can make
Hmm.
it taste better. But if I just
Hmm.
stick with the icing, I will make myself sick. And
Yes.
so when we just stick with titles without getting
Hmm.
underneath and getting the
Yes.
surface and getting the foundation, we do
Hmm.
not become our true self, our full self, authentic self, because we have no idea of who self is.
Right. But how can someone determine what is their purpose? So let me give you a scenario.
Hmm.
Someone sees this young lady, she's good at administration, and they put her into a position, a job. They give her a job offer. She gets into this position. So this young lady, grows into that position from, whatever age, spent 14, 15 years in that same, position growing, thinking this is who she is. and then
Mm-hmm.
to realize that, okay, this is not it. This is just a job I'm doing. This is just something to pay my bills. This is not my purpose. How can
Right.
you help that person, determine what's their purpose, to find their purpose?
Mhm. Well, first, I would have to let them know, wonderful job. I'm going to salute you because you were
Yeah.
able to say, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I've done
Yes.
this 10 years. I've done this 15 years. I think a lot of times we don't give validation to people when they wake up. It's like, well, why would you stick with a job for 15 years, 20 years if you didn't like it?
Hmm.
Because I enjoy eating. That's why.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So first, let me give that validation and say, awesome
Hmm.
job. That's wonderful
Yeah.
that you're able to recognize that. And then what we would do is we would take it back, and we would take it back with a couple of questions. And the
Yeah.
first question is going to be, where do you find your most contentment? Give
Yes.
me three things that you enjoy. And it's not
Hmm.
something that you have to think about a lot. You don't have to
Hmm.
sit and go, oh, let me try to figure it out. I don't care what it
Right.
is. If you just say, I like eating candy, I don't
Yeah.
care what it is. Give me
Yes.
something that you enjoy. And so what
Yes.
we're going to do is we're going to look at the things you enjoy, and then we're going to break that
Yes.
down a little bit and say, where do you feel most content?
Yes.
Where do you feel content? Because just because I
Yes.
like something doesn't mean I feel content in that something.
Right.
So those will
Yes.
be my first two steps. Give me three things that you like, and then with those three things, we're gonna attach an emotion to those things. How
Oh.
do you feel? So if
Yes.
you enjoy, I think somebody said I like reading. I think it's kind of small, so I can't see if I saw that or not. But we'll just take that for an example. You enjoy reading. So now we're gonna say, I need you to attach a feeling to that. So when you read, give me the feeling that you get. Is it a feeling of decompression? Is it a feeling of excitement? Is it a feeling of peace? Is it a feeling of I could read before I go to bed? Does it feel like a chore? Attach a feeling to that. And then we're going to look at those feelings and see if those are purposeful feelings or just emotional things. And that's how we begin to separate and begin to build on what could my purpose be. It's not an overnight thing, and no one needs to
Yeah.
feel like they don't need to feel like I have to know it in the first
Yes.
session. I have to get it perfect. There
Yeah.
is no perfect. It's about you, what
Yeah.
you've been destined to do,
Yeah.
and you being able to find joy, contentment, and peace in that
Mhm.
thing so that you'll be able to live a fuller and richer life.
Right. Gotcha. Gotcha totally. I think, what do you think? No, I've heard this phrase: pursue your passion. Sorry, pursue your
Mhm.
purpose and not your passion. Can you tell me if there's a difference there, and what is the difference between the both?
Yes, I can have a passion for something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that particular thing is my purpose. Here's the
Right.
great thing about passion. Passion, 9 times out of 10, is connected to the purpose, or
Right.
it can lead us to the purpose. So just because, like, I have a passion for, I enjoy writing. I
Right.
actually love writing. But when I write, it's for my enjoyment.
Yes.
So just because I love it and it's something that I can get passionate about it, it does not mean that that's my purpose. I
Right.
write because my feeling or my emotion that's connected to that is fun, it's relaxing, it's peaceful. So that's my connection. That's the feeling connected to writing.
Hmm.
I don't get that jumpy feeling of, ooh, I wake up in the morning needing to write. That's a passion connection. I mean, that's a purpose
Purpose.
connection.
Right.
When I get up and it's just on my mind, when I get up and in the middle of the night, I have to write notes about it, or I can't see my life without it. That's
Yeah.
more connected to a purpose.
Right.
Passion is connected to those things that I have a deep feeling for, but not necessarily something that I would do if I couldn't get paid. I'm not going to write unless I could collect some dollars. That's
Okay.
not
Right.
that's not that's not purpose. That's
Right.
payment.
Gotcha. Right. Understood totally. Understood the difference totally. And I guess most of us get caught up with the two, because we're not quite sure as to what is the difference between your passion and your
Hmm.
purpose. Because you see a number of persons promoting passion to profit, and then you see some persons promote purpose to profit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some persons who have their different, teachings or whatever, saying identify your purpose, and then another person might say identify your passion. But
Mm-hmm.
it's I think it's because persons don't understand the difference between the two,
Mm-hmm.
so they interchange it. So I think that because they're not fully aware of what it means, they're now
Mm-hmm.
sharing the wrong information to the audience, and
Mm-hmm.
people are now walking away uneducated. And
And people are walking away a little confused. And here's the
yes,
thing. Here's the thing that I want people to know. If you get nothing else from this, what I want you to know is don't pressure yourself for purpose. Don't pressure yourself for it. We are so busy. Oh my God, let me find my purpose. Let me find my purpose. That if you don't find purpose in 2 months, in 2 years,
yeah,
you feel like a failure. That's not true. There are probably many small little areas that you've been walking in purpose. You just
yeah,
don't recognize it because you think that purpose is supposed to be this big explosion that
yeah,
happens within you. And that's not necessarily true. You have some people that have a passion for cooking, but their purpose is, wow, I really love children and I love to care for children. I cry when I think of children not being
yeah.
able to eat. Here's the connection. I have a passion for cooking. I love cooking.
Well, yes,
But when I see children, my heart breaks and I can't sleep well if I know
yes,
that anybody is hungry. The connection is bringing my passion, which is
yes,
not my purpose. Cooking
yes,
is not my purpose. I don't want to cook for people. And
yes,
now I'm connecting the purpose, which is I'm in love with children and I want to see them taken care of. So
yes,
now passion meets purpose, and now I've given a gift to someone else because that's what your purpose is about. It's the gift that's in you that you're presenting to someone else.
yes,
My purpose is to give life to someone else's
yes,
needs and desires. What's going to get them to that
yes,
next level? And so that's what people have to look at. That person may have been saying, oh gosh, I've never found my purpose in life. I didn't find my purpose, but you did find it. Every time you gave a young child a bowl of soup, you were fulfilling purpose. We have to
yes,
rearrange how we look at purpose and stop thinking that purpose has to be, fireworks everywhere or something that's,
yes,
I'm leaving my mark for the world to see. You're leaving a legacy that's going to make a difference in the next generation. Nobody ever has to know my name. They don't. But I know that my purpose is to open up the eyes of other women so that they can understand who they are and live a life of purpose. If the
yes,
world never knows that, it doesn't matter. I have two daughters here that I have raised and I have poured this into, and they will
yes,
make a difference in generations to come.
yes. I love that. I love that. So can you tell us how did you pour that into your daughter's life? What did you do? Is it that each day you gave them some quotes to say, or did you have a one-on-one with them and you asked them certain questions? How did you do that?
I believe one of the greatest ways to leave passion, purpose, legacy in our children is to allow them to see you live it.
Right.
So it's not that every day that I said, oh, this is how you see passion or this is how you see purpose, but they've been able to watch me
Mm-hmm.
develop. I even
Mm-hmm.
call them my legacies. I pour life into them by what I call them. My children
Mm-hmm.
are Bree and Bethany, but I call them my legacy, legacy one and legacy two. And
Right.
words build us.
Yes.
Words can tear us and words can build us. But when I speak life into you, you begin, those seeds are planted. So
Yes.
I'm already planting a difference in who
Yes.
you are. Also, my children, whenever they had a spark or they thought that they liked something, we investigated it. Maybe
Yes.
you like it, maybe you don't, but that's okay. You don't have to like coloring books. But in
Yes.
order to know that you hate them, let's
Mm-hmm.
color in them.
Yeah.
So when they would have an interest in something, the interest may work, the interest may not. But the point is for us to play with it and see what it is. And what it
Mm-hmm.
taught them is to not be afraid to discover things and to discover things about themselves. And
Yes.
one of the other things that's very important in discovering passion and purpose, which is something I also made my children aware of, is you have a voice.
Yes.
And that's very important in purpose. If we never find our voice, then we're never going to stand up for our purpose.
Yes.
And so I taught them as young girls, you have a voice. You don't have to agree with the things that I say, but you
Yeah.
will respect those things. And we
Yeah.
can sit down and talk about why you disagree with it because you do get a voice. But because I'm the parent, I do get the last say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
going to talk about it first. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe you can help me. Just because my children were young, that did not mean that they didn't have a voice. My kids have had a say, and that helps to groom you for purpose.
Yes, I love that. I really love that. And that's a good plug in there for, parents, for us to, speak life over our children. Be
Yes,
very mindful of what we're saying over them because it acts
yes,
right, especially it plants seeds inside of them. Yeah.
yes.
Yes, I totally, totally agree with that. So on the idea of purpose, and for us to understand our purpose, to live a genuine life of joy and happiness.
Mhm.
What is your take on us using our purpose for profit? What is your take on that?
Well, first of all, you need to figure out, is that what you desire to do? Some people who are walking in purpose, sometimes you feel like I don't want to receive money. I don't want to receive finances for that. I really just want to give. And there's
Yeah,
absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for people, they do need to know it's also nothing wrong with your purpose making room for you financially, because what you've been purposed to do, the reason you've been purposed for it is because someone needs it.
yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with that. People have been purposed to become surgeons, and our insurance pays for surgeries.
yeah,
So we should not feel bad when we want to take our purpose
yeah,
and we want to have a financial compensation. So the first thing is, you need to know, what would you like to do with purpose?
yes,
What would you like to do with your passion?
yes,
What
yes,
do you want? So that's the first question, because
yeah,
you're going to be running around in circles if you do not know what you want to do with it.
yeah,
Discover it and then
yeah,
figure out, what do I want to do with it? I
yeah,
knew that I wanted to speak. Well, I don't have to make money to speak. I can speak
yeah,
on a live. I can do this. I knew that. But I want that as a career. And so I knew
right,
that I had to do the work. I knew that's what I wanted. So if you decide that your purpose is something that you would also like to be able to be a part of your financial freedom, then you need to do the work to find out what your purpose, not just what your purpose is, but how your purpose connects to what someone else needs.
yeah.
That's what you
So,
need to find out.
right. So let me
What
throw
is
this
your
out to you.
purpose? Say
Right.
that again.
Let me throw this out to you. So
Mhm,
let's think about me here. I'm just going to be vulnerable here and use me as the test subject for tonight. I have always loved teaching. Always
mhm,
loved teaching. Since a child, most of us children would have grown up like that, teaching on the board, teaching your dolls and your
mhm,
teddy bears and so forth. But that always stuck with me, and that has always been my career choice. However, life didn't go that way. I ended up becoming an accountant. However, in my late years, I eventually started to teach in a private school. So I teach privately as well. But
nice. Mhm,
but my desire is women. So I led my women's group in my church for 7 years. Everything that I do, all of my clients, my accounting clients, they're all female. I have a couple of male, but I tend to more gravitate to the women. So everything that I do is to teach the women. Everything that I do is to teach you to do X, teach you to do Y. If you want to have a successful business and bookkeeping, let me teach you how to do bookkeeping the right way.
mhm,
Let me
mhm,
teach you how to account for your money the right way. Let me teach you to have a successful business. So even with this summit, I had a summit recently, and I knew it was more than business. I knew it was more than business from even planning the summit 6 weeks prior. Each time I say the theme for the summit, woman, take your place, it did something for me. And my eyes always well with tears in water because it's like, woman, take your place. And it's to help you to understand your role, understand your purpose, find what it is, grab what it is, and position yourself as a strong person. There may be days will be weak, but stand strong. So all of the different sessions at the summit was to basically teach the woman different things in her life. And looking back now at hindsight, just speaking with you on this live, it's like, okay, it's kind of making sense now as to my purpose. Can you help give me some clarification?
So here's what I hear first, and you let me know if that's right. You have a passion for teaching.
Right.
That's the number one.
Yeah.
And then you have a passion for women learning.
Yes.
That's number two. But you're skilled in accounting.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I would do. Those are three different things that we're working with. And so here's the first thing that I would say to you. Give me three things, just three things that you enjoy teaching women. Because what happens is we make it too big.
Yes.
And we go into circles, and then
Yes.
we never find anything because we become confused, frustrated,
Yes.
and then we leave. We're like,
Yes.
forget it. I don't want to do this. So we want to narrow that in.
Right.
You like to teach. You like to teach women. You have a skill in accounting. Now let's bring that in a little bit more. Three things, and it doesn't matter if it includes accounting or not. Give me three things right now. Let's do this right now. Give me three things that you can teach me. We'll just put it on me. Give me three things right now that you can teach me. Don't make it lengthy.
Yeah.
Don't think too much, but give me three things that you can teach me because you know it like the back of your hand.
I can teach you to manage your money.
Boom, that's one.
I can teach you to do proper bookkeeping.
That's two.
And I can certainly teach you to grow your business.
You can teach me to grow my business. Now, which one of these things can you give me like a 5-step for?
Bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping. So you can teach me in 5 steps how to do bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And so what I would say to you is, let's grow that. Let's see if this is what you really enjoy. So we connected your skill, which is your accounting. We connected the fact that you love to teach. So you're going to be teaching me something, and that's going to get your juices flowing. And now something that you know like the back of your hand is bookkeeping. And you're going to show me 5 easy ways that I can turn my bookkeeping into a success.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do that. And then what we would do is we're going to schedule your live, and that's going to be your 5 things that I can teach you about bookkeeping. When you're done with that, we're going to assess your emotions. How did you feel? What you connected to? Once we finish connecting everything, we're going to find out. So is this more of something that's more connected to passion? Or is this something that's more connected to, no, here is the purpose. The ultimate purpose is teaching. And this is what I love to teach.
Yes.
So that's how we would start that, so that we can begin moving you into those things, into teaching, and then into showing me what you know. And now we're going to put a price on that. And all of that is going to be connected. And you're going to be more satisfied. You're going to have more joy when you get up, and you're going to be excited about growing a clientele, because it's not just about the money. It's about the fact that I'm walking in purpose. I'm able to teach women like Shelly how they can be a success in bookkeeping and keep their money going too. And people like Shelly, because she enjoys having profit, is going to run to do that. And that's how we circle all of that together.
Lovely. So ladies, you just were looking on. Got a real life example on how it's done.
So that's a quick 1, 2, 3 of how we would look at your passion, your purpose, and how we connected your skill so that you can create profit. And you would be able to lead, as I've stated, a happier, much more joyful life, because now you're able to use your gift and give it to somebody else in need.
That's right. I love it. I love how we took a real life example and bring it home. I love that.
Yes, ma'am. And that's what I love. I love being able to help women discover that. So that's what gets me up out of the bed. People ask me all the time, well, Shelly, what is your purpose? I'm like, my purpose is helping you find your purpose. Let's do this. Let me help you
Exactly.
find you so we can
Mhm,
help you find purpose.
mhm. And funny enough, because of this pandemic, we find a lot of jobs, a lot of entrepreneurs popping up.
Uh-huh.
And they're popping up. Most of them are popping up because they want to make quick money.
Mm-hmm.
They have food, to put on the table. They have bills to
Right.
pay. So they're popping up, a number of things popping up, and it's skills. It's not necessarily what their purpose is. It's just skills because they just need to find something to get food
Right.
on the table.
Right.
So, and then now we hear person saying, be your authentic self. Be your authentic self. But it's so
Mm-hmm.
difficult for those persons to be authentic when all they're concerned about is, I need a quick fix here. I
Right.
have bills to pay, you know?
Right. But
Yeah,
here's what I also like for people to understand. There's an ultimate purpose that I believe that we all have, like
yeah,
a ultimate purpose, and then there are seasonal purposes.
yeah,
Sometimes for a season in life, you cannot follow or you cannot pursue the
yes,
ultimate. So
yes,
right now in this season, your purpose is I have to be able to focus on the right now, this moment, because like you said, I need to put money in the bank. I need my children
yes,
to eat. I need to
yes,
pay bills. So I
yes,
like for people not to feel bad or feel like they're doing something wrong because they can't pursue something
yes,
ultimate at the moment. At the
yes,
moment, your purpose is seasoned for you to be
yes,
able to care for your family in a different way. And I
yes,
say that because I spent a lot of time working from I spent a lot of time as a wife at home. So yes, I work from home, but I left my corporate job to be home with my kids because I
yes,
felt that that was important. It didn't take away my purpose, but
yes,
for that point in life, my temporary purpose or my seasonal purpose was to be with my children.
yes,
And I still was living my purpose. You know why? Because I was pouring into my children the same way I pour into my clients today. I
yes,
was making roadmaps for my children the same way I do that with my clients. So somebody else on the outside looking in may have said, I wasted time or you were just a housewife. No, honey, I was never wasted anything, but
right,
I was always living purpose. It may have
yes,
been on a smaller scale, but the
yes,
purpose that I live was to pour purpose into my children. And
yes,
that's the greatest purpose that we can do as
yes,
parents. And now I take all of those things that I've learned and that I did over these 18, 20 something years, and I've packaged all that to be able to pour into other women.
right,
So
gotcha,
don't think that you're not living purpose because things had to turn or things
right,
had to change. It may not be in the way that you want to do it, or you may not look at it, but I can probably show you areas of your life that you're living it the same way I was.
yeah, yeah, I love it, I love it, I love this whole session, okay, I love it. So I am going to do two things coming out of this session. Watch what I'm saying to my kids, although I'm already cognizant of it, but I'm still going to be much more attentive. I love the idea of addressing them as legacies. So I'm definitely
Yes.
going to start speaking back
Take
over
look,
that.
take it, take it, take it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you parents are listening, okay? Address your children as your legacy.
Yes. They're
And
my legacy number one and legacy number two. And I just take it on down the line if you have more. Legacy three, legacy four. They'll even answer to it. It's funny because the people at my church before we went into COVID, some of them are my Facebook friends. And because I'm always referring to them, oh, legacy one did this. Oh, legacy two did this. When we go to church, people go, oh, hey, legacy. I don't even think they know my second daughter's name. They're like, where are the legacies?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. I'm definitely going to do that. And secondly, even with your purpose, the way you spoke about it and how you were able to use my real life example, I'm definitely going to do that with my kids. Well, I have two kids. One is a teen and one is a toddler. So the teen, I will do that with her because she can understand the toddler. He's only 3. So I'll just try that with her. But I love that. I love what I learned today. I really love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Ladies, this is Miss Shelly Mache.
Yes.
She is the purpose. Let's get it. She's a certified, not just a regular coach. She's a certified life purpose coach and the self-awareness expert. Please get in contact with her. She's a member of the group. Let us network. Let us support each other's business. Get in contact with her and speak with her. Find out what is your real purpose to ensure that you are living a genuinely happy life. A life full of joy and fulfillment.
Yes.
As
Yes.
Dr. Miles Monroe always says, die empty. And
Exactly. And that is my goal. That
yeah,
is my goal. And for any ladies that are here that are that may be trying to get some clarification on
yeah,
what it is that their purpose is, or they need assistance getting their 1, 2, 3s together, please go onto my website, which is my name, ShellyMache.com, and you can schedule a master clarity call with me. It's a 30-minute master clarity call that you can schedule with me. And also for those who, again, and I always put this out, my book is called 70 Days of Happy. Life is Better When You Smile. And for those
right.
of us, we need to understand self before we can move forward. And
Mhm.
you are more than welcome to download that book at iownmyhappy.com. So those are the two things I'd like to leave for those who may be looking to have a master clarity call, and those who may be looking to really discover how to own their purpose, because then how to own their happy, and that's when you'll be able to own your purpose.
Yes, I love it. Thank you very much, Shelly. Thank you for taking time
Thank
out to be
you.
with us
Thank
tonight.
you.
Yeah, it was
Thank
really
you. It was a pleasure. I look
fun.
forward to being in the group and
Yes.
connecting with the ladies. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I could talk about coaching and purpose and bringing life together all day long. So that's how I know it's my purpose.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was really a
Thank
pleasure.
you for this time, and thank you for working with me. We finally got it on here.
No
Thank you,
problem. Thank
everyone.
you. Good night, everyone, and good night, Shelly.
Good night. Thank you again.
No problems. Bye.
Bye bye.